Hello everyone, welcome back to Reflections. Today I want to tell you, be where you're supposed to be. And if any of you know me, you've heard this a lot lately, be where you're supposed to be. So that sounds pretty obvious. Like, oh yeah, it's Tuesday, I'm supposed to be here. It's Monday, I go to work. It's Wednesday, I go here, Bible study. And Sunday, I go to church. Well, be where you're supposed to be. That's easy. Yeah, no, that's not what that means. It means be where God needs you to be. Like, be where God wants you to be at the moment that you're supposed to be there. So I've gotten in this, interestingly, it's going to sound crazy and maybe legalistic to some of you, habit of asking God all the time, every morning, all the time, throughout the day, where I'm supposed to be. Like, hey, I'm supposed to go here today. Hey, I'm supposed to go to church. God, can I go to church? And sometimes he says no. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, is this you? Is this you? And I got to make sure, and I got to know. And are you sure? Because, here's what I'm going to do. Yep. And then I literally don't go. Like, I don't go. And you might say, like, okay, well, this is just weird, and why, and what's the point, and all that. Well, let me tell you. I'm not going to tell you all my things because I'm not stupid. There's demons out there. And that's the whole point of this, really. There's so many examples that I could give you over the last, I don't even know how long that I've been doing this, of like proofs and reasons why you need to be where you're supposed to be. People say all the time, like, well, I was like 5 minutes late and I avoided this car accident. And it was like, oh my gosh, like God kept me out of this car accident by being late and all. Yep, exactly. It's kind of like that. Sometimes you're avoiding the enemy. Sometimes you have to be somewhere else because he needs you to do something. Sometimes it's because somebody else needs to do something, and your presence makes a difference in a good way or a bad way. It's like you have no idea. We just don't know. But there's huge value in obedience in that. And unfortunately for me, so this is why, you guys get to benefit from all of my strife because if you're smart, you'll just listen to me and you'll just start doing this on your own without being forced. I had to be forced by being sick. God let me be sick, and there's so many reasons, but in so many ways that I'm growing and all the things, and this has been good, but being sick has forced me to literally have to be conscious of where I am and when I'm there, and I have to rely on God, literally moment to moment. I have to count on him to get me places consciously. Again, we do this all the time. Like, you have to count on God to get you places anyway, but we don't acknowledge it. Like, we never acknowledge it. We never ask him. We never get in the car every single time we get in the car and say, God, protect my car ride. Get me there safe. Protect my body while I'm driving. Protect all the things while I'm driving. Just get me there in one piece. Like, some people might do that, but we don't do that regularly. We don't wake up and say, God, just get me through this Bible study, or get me through my day of work, or get me through lunch, or we don't do that. We just don't. We just expect that everything's normal, and it's a Tuesday, so I go here, and it's a Thursday, so I go here, and we just do our thing. And we don't think twice to ask God if it's what we're actually supposed to be doing. We ask him before big stuff, oh, I might be getting a promotion. Hey, God, do you want me to do that? Well, what about the other 364 days of the year? Do you know, if he tells you to call off of work, are you going to do it? Well, God would never want you to call off of work. Yeah, he would. God doesn't care about you calling off of work. Yeah, he's got a bigger plan than, whether or not you show up to work. So, I would like to help people do these things before they're sick and they're forced to. It's all about, even all the last videos I made, guys, about judgment and all those things, about how judgment's coming, and wrath and all this stuff. It's that happens for the same reason. God's forced to do it because we don't listen before that. God has to break us because we don't pay attention. God has to bring us to our knees because we don't find him while we're still walking. Like we're just floating around all easy peasy, like life is great and we don't need him and everything's good. And, as some people say, keep him in our back pocket. And then, when there's a monster in front of us, we just whip him out and say, here, Jesus, take care of this for me. And then we're like, okay, we're good. Now I'll put you back and I'll just go about my day and everything's fine. And it's like, yeah, how do you think he feels? How would you feel? You'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I'll find a different friend. If that's how you got treated all the time. It's just somebody's like bodyguard. When you really want to be like their spouse or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just messed up. So, yeah, that's my reflection. Just like be where you're supposed to be and like ask God. Ask God every single day about the stupid little things. Ask him, should I go get groceries right now? Like, should I go to work today? Should I go to the movies tonight? Like, you'd be surprised, guys. Seriously. You'd be surprised. You know what? And the best part is, nope, I'm going to save it for another video. You're going to have to come back next week, and I'll tell you the best part. So, share this video, guys. I love you. God loves you. Have a great week.